Hello. Another video. Okay, today we're going to be talking about the Sisyphean insurrectionist from UltraKill. Now, I recently just beat all of the available content in UltraKill, and I got to it and I was very disappointed because it said still, like, the layer 8 is still under development, and they still have a whole third act to finish, which I think kind of sucks because I really like playing it. Anyway, Sisyphean insurrectionist from UltraKill. This boss is one of the earlier bosses in UltraKill, so you would assume it was easy. No. Out of any boss in the entire game, I had the most trouble with this boss. Now, for some background knowledge, I have not played many, quote, hard games. The only hard games I've played are UltraKill, Dark Souls 2, Terraria, and Doom 64, among others. So based off, Sisyphean Insurrectionist is not one of the hardest bosses I've ever beaten. The boss looks like a body with no head, like a mummy with no head. One long arm with a rock in its hand, and one arm. The other arm looks to be ripped off, and you can see a couple ribs in it, but it swings the rock at you, then uses it like a grapple hook to pull itself towards you. So it would swing the rock at you, and you'd have to either parry or dodge it, and then it will jump in the air, and mid-air it will chuck the rock at you, and then land wherever the rock landed, and then create a shockwave. So yeah. To add to this, the sand, so this level is in a desert themed level. So you fight this boss in a desert themed map on 4 separate platforms. And under the platforms is sand. The sand's hot. It does 5 damage to you. I think it's like every 2 seconds when you touch it. So you have to jump from platform to platform. And to add, I also learned after I beat the whole game, well, it's available right now, that you can actually parry. I didn't know this at all. So I had to fight it without the parrying ability, which was why it took so long for me to beat it and why it was such a difficult boss. And I only realized that you can actually parry when it throws the rock at you. So, the way that I fought it was to jump around sporadically as if I was chucking a huge, as it was chucking a huge rock at me, and then dashing away immediately as not to die, and then having to jump in the air and dash forward to be able to avoid the shockwave that it sends out. It was tedious, to say the least. And to add on to that, I mainly played during lunch and working period at my high school. So I had to use my mouse and my laptop. And the mouse that I used with my laptop had a broken scroll wheel that will either scroll up or down no matter how you scroll it. So if you were to scroll it down, it'll scroll down for like 2 and then it'll scroll up. It doesn't matter which way, it'll go up or down. It's random. With my scroll wheel broken, it was annoying trying to switch between the railgun and the revolver. Because you can't actually, they're not numbered, so if you were to press 1, it wouldn't switch to the railgun. If you were to press 2, it wouldn't switch to a revolver. My scroll wheel being broken and parrying were my main downfalls, along with staying on the platforms while the sand was taking away my health. After it throws its rock at you, it pulls itself to where the rock is and causes a shockwave to go out around them. Also, if you get close enough to it trying to heal, because in UltraKill, if you didn't know, you get close to it and you deal damage, the enemy bleeds, and you actually heal from the enemy blood. So you have to be close to an enemy that you're like fighting to be able to actually heal. Also, when you get right under or close to it, it will stomp the ground, then slam the rock into the ground. So it will stomp with one foot and then jump in there and slam the rock down and then pull itself to the ground really quickly. And that's a really difficult thing to do because you have to get up close to it, do a bunch of damage to heal. So I would get close to it, shoot it with a ray gun, back up, jump, sprint backwards and then forwards twice because you have 3 sprints in total, like 3 things. And then I just hit it with the revolver a bunch because you have to jump over the shockwave that it sends as well. But I must admit, I do really like the boss design and the actual level design. The boss design is really cool. Here, I'll put a picture up, but you can see it has no head. And it's holding one of the floating rockheads that you can also fight, and its fingers look like tentacles. It has no right arm, and you can actually see some of the ribs, and its legs look like legs, I guess, but it kind of reminds me of a mummy because considering it's a desert level, I would assume it was a mummy. I do like the sound design and music choice in this level. It fits very well into a desert ruins theme, which this level looks like, because you're in like a pyramid looking thing and you have to put the red skull on the right and the blue skull on the left, and then a big horn comes up out of the ground and it starts blaring a big loud like noise, and the Sisyphean insurrectionist jumps from the sky and ground slams on the ground, sending a shockwave out. To conclude, it's not the hardest boss ever created, but for me, without knowing how to parry, the sand, and not knowing the proper strategy to beat him, and not being able to scroll properly. So basically, what I only had to use the railgun and revolver because I couldn't scroll to the other weapons. Like if I added the shotgun or the nail gun into my arsenal, I wouldn't be able to scroll specifically to the railgun when I need to, because the railgun does the most damage. So if you get up close, you do the more damage you do, the more it bleeds, and the more it bleeds, the more you heal. So I would get close to it, hit it with the railgun, and then that's how I would heal, because I would heal every time I shoot the railgun. After beating the game, I realized that you could parry. I went back and mopped the floor with him. Completely decimated him. He stood no chance against me. It was sad. And then I was talking to my friend about it, and he was like, bruh, did you not know you could parry? And I actually showed him the game, and it was kind of embarrassing. Anyways, I like making videos, so expect more soon. Bruh.